Sayonara is a Japanese word that means goodbye or farewell. I've always loved this beautiful sounding word and occasionally use this word to say goodbye or farewell to friends or family. I also employ this word to say goodbye to people I do not like, in which case I say, sayonara, sucker. I remember an instance many years ago when I was driving taxi. I was working with this older gentleman who was a real jerk. Not an evil person, however, very unlikable. And interestingly enough, back when I was in my 30s, when I used to go out to nightclubs, my friends and I would see this guy out at the nightclubs when he was in his late 50s, hitting on trying to pick up young women in their 20s. He was a total horn dog. So fast forward 20 years, and wouldn't you know, I end up working with the guy for the same taxi company. And whenever I would get a low-paying run, he would always make fun of me or mock me. And one time while I was at the Green Bay airport, a model, or a woman who looked like a model, approached my taxi. And traditionally the models would go to a loft or a loft hotel, which was one of the shortest, worst paying runs that we would get. And additionally, the models never tipped. I'm not saying models never tip, however, I was never tipped by a model. And the models that flew into the airport were notorious for being the worst tippers. In other words, they didn't tip at all. So this model walks up to my vehicle, and it turns out she's not a model, she's a designer, and she needs to go to Sturgeon Bay because she's working on a yacht, designing a yacht. So she says, I need to go to Sturgeon Bay, so, which is a good run, a high-paying run that is an hour away. So I walk back to my colleague, the guy that's this jerk, and as I'm approaching his taxi, he starts laughing at me, and he's like, ha ha ha, Aloft. He thinks that I've gotten a run to the Aloft Hotel because he sees the model. And I look at him and I shake my head and I say, Sturgeon Bay, sayonara, sucker.